There's a moment I'll never forget. It was a quiet Tuesday morning. A man in his late 70s named Ronald sat across from me in my clinic. He was wearing a clean flannel shirt, boots polished like he still worked construction. But his eyes told a different story. They looked lost, not broken, just distant, like someone who'd wandered too far from home and couldn't quite find the way back. He leaned in and said, "Dr. Max, I don't feel anything anymore. I'm alive, but I'm not living. I miss me." That hit me hard, because Ronald isn't the only man who's told me that. Over my 30 years as a urologist here in the US, I've heard these words from truck drivers, teachers, soldiers, CEOs. Good men, strong men, and they all say it differently, but the meaning is the same. I don't recognize myself anymore. My energy's gone. I feel invisible in my own body. And most of the time, they think it's just aging. But I'm here to tell you it's not just age. It's disconnection. You see, there's a quiet part of a man's life that often gets left behind as the years roll on. It's not just about sex or desire or performance. It's deeper than that. It's about touch. It's about curiosity. It's about staying connected to your own skin, your own pulse, your own fire. The truth? Many men stop touching themselves, not because they don't want to, but because somewhere along the way they were told it's not for them anymore, that it's weird or wrong or just for younger folks. But your body didn't get that memo. It still craves connection. It still responds to care. And when you ignore that part of yourself for too long, something inside you slowly shuts down. But what if you could open that door again? What if you could feel alive, not just existing, but truly present in your body, even at 60, 75, 85? In this video, I'm going to walk you through a powerful but gentle path back to yourself. No pills, no pressure, just a 5-step method rooted in science, wrapped in kindness, and made for men in this exact chapter of life. So if that quiet voice in you has been saying, "I miss feeling like me," then you're in the right place. And if you appreciate honest, heartfelt advice crafted especially for older men, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel Life Over 50 Plus, and let's begin this journey together. Because the next part of your story might just be the most powerful yet, before and after. When a man stops feeling like a man. I want to tell you about a man named Frank. He's 71, used to be a firefighter, the kind of man who ran into burning buildings when others ran out. Broad shoulders, steady voice, the guy everyone leaned on. But when he sat across from me in my office, his posture said something different. Shoulders slumped, eyes tired, hands fidgeting in his lap. "Dr. Cole," he said quietly, "I don't feel like a man anymore. I feel like I've faded." He hadn't been intimate in years, not with a partner, not even with himself, and that wasn't always the case. But after retirement, after a few surgeries, and especially after his wife passed, something inside him just disconnected. At first, he blamed it on age. He said, "I'm old. This is just what happens, right?" But I could see in his expression he didn't believe that. Deep down, he missed himself. And here's the truth, Frank's story isn't rare. Across 30 years in urology and senior health, I've seen this pattern too many times. A man stops touching his body, stops feeling desire, and somewhere along the line, he starts disappearing. Here's where the misunderstanding begins. Many seniors, especially men, believe that once erections become inconsistent or desire wanes, their relationship with their sexual self has ended. But that belief, it's one of the most dangerous myths in men's health. Because when we shut the door on physical connection, especially self-connection, we don't just lose intimacy. We lose vitality, we lose circulation, we lose testosterone support, we lose the mental and emotional benefits of stimulation and release what modern science now confirms as essential for senior health and cognitive function. And yes, I'll say it plainly, masturbation when approached mindfully isn't something to be ashamed of. It's one of the most natural, accessible tools to protect your prostate, improve urinary incontinence, enhance erectile function, and support testosterone balance. Let me tell you what changed for Frank. After we spoke, I gently encouraged him to begin reconnecting, not with pressure, not with a goal, just a quiet moment 2 or 3 times a week. A warm shower, a locked door, a few slow breaths, and then intentional, gentle touch. He was skeptical, but he tried, and within weeks, something shifted. His sleep improved, his energy came back. He called me 2 months later, and said, "Doc, I'm waking up before my alarm again, and I actually want to get out of bed." That, my friend, is not about lust. That's about life. That's the power of restoring connection with your body, especially in your senior years. Because senior wisdom doesn't mean giving up on yourself. It means learning how to care for yourself in deeper, more meaningful ways. So let me ask you, when was the last time you touched your body, not to fix something, but to feel something? If it's been a while, I want you to know it's not too late, not even close. And if you're thinking, is masturbation good or bad for health after 60, the answer isn't black and white. It's about how you do it, whether it's rushed and shameful, or calm, respectful, and rooted in self-care. This is sexual education for the second half of life. This is advice for the elderly that honors experience, not erases it. You don't need to chase your 20s. You just need to reclaim your now. Let's talk about what happens to the body and the brain when this reconnection begins, because that's where the real healing starts. The science why self-pleasure boosts health. Let's take a quiet moment to talk about the body, not from shame, but from respect. Because your body, even at 60, 70, or 80, is not broken, it's brilliant. And when you understand how it works, you can learn how to care for it in ways that bring real results, not just in the bedroom, but in your heart, brain, and energy levels. So let's talk about the science behind masturbation and why it can be a powerful tool for senior health. First, every time you engage in conscious touch or self-pleasure, you stimulate your nervous system in a positive way. It's like hitting the reset button on stress. You release oxytocin, often called the bonding or love hormone. Oxytocin helps lower blood pressure and eases anxiety, both common concerns in elderly men. It creates calm. It helps you sleep better. And for many men I've worked with, that alone has changed their quality of life. Second, you also produce endorphins. These are your body's natural painkillers, the same chemicals that ease muscle aches and chronic tension. Many of my patients dealing with arthritis or back pain have reported fewer flare-ups after they began a healthy, respectful masturbation routine. No pills, just nature doing its work. Third, and this is key, testosterone. Yes, your body still makes it. And yes, even gentle arousal and climax can support your body's ability to maintain healthy testosterone levels. That means stronger muscles, better bone density, more stable mood. All essential aspects of senior wisdom and men's health. And here's something you might not know. Self-pleasure improves circulation. Blood flow is what keeps your brain sharp, your heart strong, and your erection firm. Think of it like exercise for seniors over 60, except instead of lifting weights, you're reconnecting with your most intimate self. Better blood flow means better oxygen to your organs. It supports cognitive function, emotional stability, and urinary health. That's why so many experts in urology now recommend sexual activity, including masturbation, as part of a holistic approach to senior health. There's even a landmark study out of Harvard. Men who ejaculated 21 times or more per month had a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer. That's not just a statistic, that's a second chance at a longer, stronger life. Still wondering whether masturbation is good or bad for health? Here's my honest doctor-level answer. It depends on how you approach it. Done mindlessly out of guilt or compulsion, it can feel empty. But done with care, with intention, and without shame, it becomes part of your healing. Think of it like a conversation with your body. You're not using it, you're listening to it. And in return, your body says, "Thank you." A patient of mine, Tom, age 68, once told me, "Dr. Cole, I used to think I had to give up that part of me to grow old with dignity. But now I see, letting it go is what made me feel older than I was." Today, Tom sleeps better, he jokes more, and he says he feels more like a man than he did at 55. That, my friend, is the power of informed, respectful sexual education. So here's a small invitation. Not a command, not pressure, just a gentle challenge. Tonight, take 10 minutes. Breathe, touch your arm, your chest, your stomach. Don't rush to the end, just feel your body. Be curious, because whether you're 61 or 91, your body is still yours. It still responds to care. It still remembers how to heal. In the next section, I'll walk you through exactly how to begin, step by step, with safety, comfort, and dignity. So stay with me. Your journey's just getting started. The restoration method. A 5-step plan for reconnection. Now that we understand the science, let's make it practical. Because knowing why something helps is important, but knowing how to do it is what creates change. Over the years, I've developed what I call the restoration method. It's a simple 5-step practice designed specifically for senior men to gently reconnect with their bodies. It doesn't require medication, gadgets, or performance, just time, intention, and respect. You don't need to do all 5 steps perfectly, but I encourage you to try them 2 to 3 times a week and watch what unfolds. Let's walk through it together. Step 1, create your sanctuary. Choose a private, quiet space where you feel safe. It could be your bedroom, a locked bathroom, or even a favorite chair by the window. Dim the lights. Use pillows to support your back or knees if needed. Have a warm towel nearby. And most importantly, use a high-quality lubricant. Silicone-based is ideal for older skin because it lasts longer and protects delicate tissue. This isn't a rush, it's a ritual. Set the mood with calm music or silence. This is your time, just for you. Step 2, breathe and settle. Sit or lie comfortably. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in for 4 seconds. Then exhale slowly for 6. Repeat this 10 times. This isn't just relaxation. This tells your nervous system, I'm safe. I can let go. You'll notice your shoulders drop. Your thoughts soften. Your heartbeat slows. This prepares your body to receive not just stimulation, but care. Step 3, explore without expectation. Before you go straight to your genitals, explore the rest of you. Lightly touch your chest, your inner thighs, your arms. Notice what feels warm, alive, or sensitive today. It may surprise you. As we age, our sensory map changes. What used to feel intense may now feel muted, and what used to feel ordinary may now spark something new. This isn't about finding the fastest path to pleasure. It's about discovery. Think of it as exercise for seniors over 60, slow, intentional movement that reconnects mind and body. Step 4, stimulate with kindness. When you feel ready, begin exploring your penis. Don't chase an erection. Let sensation guide you. Here are 3 techniques I've taught many elderly men in my care. The encompassing palm. Gently wrap your hand around the shaft. Use slow, even strokes. Feel the warmth. Circular awakening. Use 2 fingers to trace gentle circles around the tip. This wakes up nerve endings often ignored. Root touch, press and massage the perineum, the area between your scrotum and anus. This stimulates pelvic floor muscles, improves blood flow, and supports erectile function and urinary control. Remember, this isn't about finishing. This is about feeling. Pleasure, warmth, even grief. Whatever shows up, it's welcome. Step 5, reflect and reclaim. When you're done, don't just move on. Pause. Place your hand on your chest or belly. Take a deep breath. Say something kind to yourself, even silently. I'm still here. I showed up. I felt something today. If it helps, jot a sentence in a journal. You don't need to explain it to anyone. This is between you and the man in the mirror. This is senior wisdom in action. And here's a little health tip for timing. Try this in the morning between 9 and 11 a.m. when testosterone naturally peaks. Or try early evening around 5 to 7 p.m. when your body is naturally unwinding. If you have arthritis, consider doing it after a warm shower to loosen your joints. If you're on ED medication, time your session to match the medication's effect. This is self-care. This is sexual health. This is advice for the elderly that's rooted in science and delivered with respect. And if you're wondering if semen retention power is something you should worry about, I'll say this gently: retention isn't power. Presence is. It's not about hoarding or denying your body. It's about listening, honoring, and showing up. You've just taken a brave step. And I want to say I'm proud of you. In our next section, we'll talk about the most common mistakes older men make when they start reconnecting with their bodies and how to avoid them with grace. Common mistakes that block pleasure and progress. Now that you've seen what's possible, let's make sure nothing stands in your way. Because even with the best intentions, many older men fall into quiet habits that can hold them back from truly experiencing the benefits of self-connection. And I say this with love, not to criticize, but to help you move forward with less frustration and more freedom. Here are 5 common mistakes I've seen in my 30 years of working in men's health and urology. Each one is completely fixable. Let's walk through them together. Mistake number 1, rushing the experience. So many men treat masturbation like a race. Fast, mechanical, over before it even begins. But senior health doesn't respond well to speed. Your body or nervous system needs time to warm up to feel safe to let go. Think of it like stretching an old muscle before lifting a heavy box. The slower you go, the more your body thanks you. Give yourself at least 30 to 45 minutes. Turn it into a ritual, not a task. Mistake number 2, focusing only on the genitals. When we're young, the body feels like it works on autopilot. But as we age, pleasure becomes a whole body experience. By limiting touch to one small area, you miss out on the richness of sensation. Your chest, your thighs, even your neck or shoulders can awaken something powerful. This is sexual education for the entire body, not just one part. Remember, masturbation is good for health because it involves blood flow, relaxation, and sensory engagement, not just orgasm. Mistake number 3, making performance the goal. Here's the truth, not every session will lead to an erection, and that's okay. The purpose here isn't to prove anything, it's to feel something. Men over 60 often tie identity to performance. But what if you tied it instead to presence? The more you shift away from results and toward experience, the more your body will respond naturally, gently, and without pressure. That shift alone has helped many elderly men recover emotional intimacy and physical sensation they thought was gone forever. Mistake number 4, doing it once then forgetting. Self-pleasure is not a miracle pill. It's a practice, just like walking, stretching, or eating well. Doing it once in a while won't bring lasting change, but 2 to 3 times a week, that's where the power lies. Regular connection supports hormonal balance, circulation, mental clarity, and urinary incontinence improvement. Inconsistency is one of the biggest blocks to senior wisdom in this area. Mistake number 5, letting shame take the wheel. This one's what is the hardest. I've had grown men cry in my office not because of pain, but because they felt embarrassed just talking about masturbation. They'd been carrying silent guilt for decades. Messages from childhood, church, society. But here's what I tell every single one of them. Shame doesn't belong in your healing. Touching your own body with care, not compulsion, is a form of respect. It's a form of dignity. It's advice for the elderly that most never hear, and it's long overdue. If shame ever sneaks in, here's a tip I give my patients. Write down 3 benefits of your practice and read them before each session. Example, I sleep better. I feel calmer. I feel connected to myself. You're not doing something dirty. You're doing something healing, something that science and senior health experts now fully support. A patient of mine, Harold, age 76, once told me, Dr. Cole, I used to think I was giving something up, but now I realize I'm finally giving something back to myself. That's the shift, from shame to self-care, from silence to restoration, and it's never too late to start. In the next part of this journey, I'll show you how to deepen that connection even further, whether you're alone or in a relationship, and how the benefits reach far beyond the bedroom. From solo to connection, how this practice reignites your relationships. Now you might be thinking, Cole, this all sounds good for a man who's alone, but what if I have a partner? That's an important question, because for many senior couples, intimacy changes over time. It becomes quieter, slower. Sometimes it fades altogether, and often neither person knows how to bring it back. Let me tell you something I've seen again and again in my years of giving advice for the elderly. When a man reconnects with his own body, something beautiful happens in his relationship. Not because he becomes more sexual, but because he becomes more present. There's a man I know, Raymond, age 73. He and his wife hadn't been physically close in almost 4 years. No fights, no distance, just life taking over. Surgeries, medications, grandkids. One day he said, I feel like we're roommates, not lovers. We started with the same restoration method you just learned. At first he thought it was selfish, but over time he began to soften. He looked at her with warmer eyes. He stopped rushing through conversation. He even started brushing her hair while she read the paper, something he hadn't done in decades. Then one evening she put her hand on his and whispered, I don't know what changed, but I feel like you're here again. That moment didn't start in the bedroom. It started when he learned to be kind to his own body, because when a man stops judging himself, he stops judging others. And love, real grounded love, can grow again. So whether you're married, dating, widowed, or somewhere in between, understand that self-pleasure isn't a replacement for intimacy. It's a foundation. It helps you regulate emotions, reduce stress, feel confident in your own skin, and that confidence is deeply attractive. Even in a long marriage, this practice can help reignite connection, not necessarily through sex, but through gentleness, through touch, through the work of just being close without pressure. If you're partnered, I invite you to start a conversation, not about sex, but about connection. Share what you're learning. Let them know this journey is about you, but it may ripple into us. And if you're single, this isn't settling. This is self-respect. Masturbation, when done consciously, is good for your health, your clarity, and your sense of identity. As we age, we don't need more performance. We need more presence, more trust, more touch that says, I see you, I choose you, I choose me too. In our final section, I want to leave you with a message of hope, a reminder that it's never too late, not to heal, not to feel, and not to live fully in the skin you're in. Final thought, you still have time to rebuild. If you've stayed with me this far, I want to tell you something that may be the most important medical advice I've ever given a patient. It's not too late. It doesn't matter how many years it's been. It doesn't matter if you're divorced, widowed on medication, or haven't felt a strong erection in a decade. What matters is this: your body is still listening, and it wants to reconnect with you. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even early 90s regain a sense of energy, identity, and even intimacy simply by beginning this process of self-respect, by treating their body not as something broken, but as something waiting to be heard. Let me leave you with this: you are not a machine, you are not a burden, you are not past your prime, you are a man in your prime of wisdom. And wisdom means knowing that healing can start with a breath, a pause, a hand placed on the chest in stillness and care. Whether you begin with one quiet session a week or just sit with these thoughts for a while, you're rebuilding something that matters. I often tell my patients, don't chase who you used to be. Get curious about who you still are, because you're still here, still capable of joy, still worthy of touch, still alive. So try the restoration method. Breathe, feel, listen, and most importantly, stay kind to yourself in the process. You've carried a lot. You've survived a lot. And now, it's time to soften. If this message spoke to something in you, I'd love to know. Drop a comment below, even a simple, still here. It means more than you know. And if you appreciate honest, heartfelt advice made especially for men over 60, please hit the like button and subscribe to Life Over 50 Plus. Your support helps me reach more men who need this, men who may not even know they're missing it until now. And maybe, just maybe, share this video with a friend. You never know who's quietly struggling. And sometimes the best gift we can give another man is permission to feel again. This is Dr. Max Cole signing off. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.